Welcome back. I'm getting nose surgery. Now, it's not getting a nose job. I'm not trying to change the look of anything right here. I'm actually getting two different procedures, septoplasty and turbinate reduction. So let's go into a little bit about what that is and why I'm getting it done. Septoplasty is where they take the cartilage in your nose and straighten it out. A lot of people will have crooked noses. Mine isn't that way. It's fairly straight as is, but apparently somewhere up in here, there is a piece that angles just a bit. And that slight angle can cause turbinates to swell, or it can cause you to have one nasal cavity or one nostril passage smaller than the other, which can make it a little harder to breathe. So septoplasty is supposed to straighten that out and make it so that each of the nostrils are straight all the way through. Turbinate reduction, on the other hand, is reducing the size of your turbinates. Now, of course, you've got to know what a turbinate is. Basically, back up in here, beyond the spot where you have your bone of your nose, so beyond the cartilage squishy portion right there and back here, are what are called turbinates. They are apparently little bitty bones that stick out from your nose somewhere, and they are encapsulated by tissue. So if you look at it, and if you look at mine specifically, it almost looks like a fat swollen sac right in the back of my nose. You can look up my nostril and see this sac swollen up. I don't really know how else to describe it other than a fat swollen sac in your nose. But what happens is, if you have a nose hole that's like this, and you have this sac that is normally not that big, and I'm sorry if I keep putting my hands in front of my face, but if you've got a sac in there and it gets too big, it starts to grow into that hole so that you're now only breathing through that little area right there that you can see my eye through. So that's what's happening to me, and I can see this if I shine a flashlight up in my nose. Well, what does that mean? What it means is, for years, I have had allergies, I have felt like I needed to blow my nose, I felt congested, I felt kind of the way you do when you have a cold. But there wasn't any mucus, there wasn't anything actually in there, it was just the skin of the turbinates up inside my nostrils was swollen, making me feel like I was sick. So what have I done prior to now? Why am I going to get this surgery? Well, over the years, I have tried Flonase, as well as several other over-the-counter medicines. So azelastoline, that's not over-the-counter. Nasacort, budesonide, I think. I could be mispronouncing that. But there are several nasal steroids that you can get from Walgreens or wherever that you basically just spray a couple of sprays up each nostril, and it helps to open them up. And that kind of helped for a while. It did a little bit better than I would have been otherwise, but the thing that really made a difference, and the thing that, of course, when I went to the doctor, he said, oh yeah, that's what it is, was Afrin. If any of you have ever used Afrin, now I know if you use it over an extended period of time and you use a lot of it, it has some major side effects. It can make your nose raw, it can swell your sinuses shut because basically they are irritated, and when you come off of it, it's kind of like an addiction. You're coming off of that addiction, and it makes everything swell again. But that did help. Now, of course, I can't use that all the time, so I would only use that if it really got bad enough one day where I just couldn't breathe, and I try to use like a half spray, as little as I possibly could. So after that had been going on for years and I was really getting frustrated, I went to an allergy doctor. Now, this is a place that offers something called immunotherapy. What they do to begin with is they have you take off your shirt, lay down, and they give you, it's almost like a whole bunch of shots on your back. It's really more like this rectangular platform that has a bunch of circles in it, and each of the circles contains an allergen, something that you could have an allergic reaction to, and then it contains a bunch of rough edges. So they put it on your back, they scrape it a little bit, that gets into your skin, and then they look to see where is red. So I did that, and I found out that I'm allergic to some of the standard things. I'm allergic to some molds, dust mites, mountain cedar, and a few other things that I don't remember. There were only a few that I seem to have decently strong reactions to. So I have, as of now, been on this immunotherapy for about 1.5 years. What they do after they've done that exploratory, let's figure out what you are allergic to, is they give you shots in the back of your arms. So I would get one here and one over here. It is a subcutaneous shot, so it doesn't go into the muscle, it goes just barely under the skin. And then that area and all around it will become red, and they slowly increase your dose over time until you are beginning to develop a tolerance to these things. The theory is the more tolerant you are, the less your nose will react when you get these allergens in there. So I did that for 1.5 years, but it didn't really help. So that's when I ended up at the ear, nose, and throat doctor and told him what had happened. And he said, okay, it's time for surgery. And I was like, what? Already? He said, well, no, really what normally happens is the first step is trying some of these nasal sprays. See if any of these fix the problem for you. If not, send you to an immunotherapy allergy place and try to get shots for that for a period of time. After all of that is done, you've tried it and it's not getting any better, that's when you go and have surgery. So at this point, he has recognized I have swollen turbinates. They never shrink down. And I actually looked this morning. I have used, I think I did a Flonase this morning, but I haven't used anything else recently. And it was very obvious. On this side, it looks like I just have a little swollen sac back there. And you can very easily see it by shining a flashlight up my nose. It's very strange looking, but the idea will be he will shrink that. So 2.5 weeks from today, the day that I'm filming this, will be October 21st. That's when my appointment is to go get this surgery done. So what I wanted to do was make a video here where I could talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and then follow up with more information. So I have a follow-up appointment a week from today, next Monday, and I will go over with the doctor exactly what's happening, all of the details, any questions that I have, he will answer, and maybe if he gives me some more information than what I have right now, I will post a video on that. Then after the surgery, for anyone who has had or is about to have septoplasty and turbinate reduction surgery together, this will be a great thing to follow along with. If you've had it, you can see, hey, was my experience similar to yours? And comment below. Let me know. Was it the same? Was it different? Was yours better or worse? If you have not had this and you're looking at doing it, I hope this will help somebody else, because when I was researching for this, I didn't find many videos on other people saying, hey, here's what happened to me, and look at my nose, look at how miserable this is. I saw a lot of articles on here's what you may or may not expect, things like that. So I want to document this process. I'm hoping it will help somebody else. Regardless, let me know what you think. I will try to go back in this video and post a few pictures here and there. I'm really interested in documenting this process so that you can see what my expectations are going in, what the surgery is actually like, and what the post-op recovery is like and how long it takes. Stay tuned, but for now, that's all I have for today. See you next time.